What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl Tamika E coming in with another quick video. You guys, I am so shocked that I'm even doing a video on the death of Kevin Samuels. Um, this is like a big shock. So I just had to jump on and do this video real quick because, again, we can learn from this. We can all take this as a learning lesson. So the Bible speaks of thou shalt not judge, and that's in Luke 6:37. Okay, so when we look back on the demise of Kevin Samuels, when we look back at his videos, and I would like to say it was more of his niche. His niche was to degrade black women. And yes, some of the things he said was comical. It was comical to a certain extent. For me, I didn't really feel no type of way about it. Like when he called black women bitches, I really didn't take that as a, some type of way towards me or nothing like that, because that's just the type of person I am personally. That really won't faze me. But his niches was to ask women, what's your age, how much you weigh, what's your dress size, what's your dating history, are you a PhD, do you have a cat, do you own a dog? And those was like to judge you. Do you have any kids? That was his niche, and everybody just found it so fascinating, all his subscribers, because the numbers don't lie, and he had millions of subscribers, and everybody just thought it was very comical to listen to a man tell black women repeatedly over and over again, you're gonna die alone, you're gonna die alone. And it was so comical, to his subscribers. Now, me personally, I was not Kevin Samuels' subscriber. I wasn't subscribed to Kevin Samuels, but I did hear about him. I did do a previous video on him, and like I will always say, I did watch Kevin Samuels videos before because it was kind of, entertaining for me. But do I, wish death upon him? No. Am I celebrating Kevin Samuels' death? No. And I wish, his fan base would stop saying that. Like, why are people celebrating Kevin Samuels' death? Now, for me, I look at, like I said before, Kevin Samuels' niche. His niche was entertaining, but it was degrading to black women, and that's what he got famous for. So, what's all the seriousness about? Now everything is, oh, you're making fun of Kevin Samuels' demise. You're making fun of Kevin Samuels' death, and I don't think that's the case for many of us. Like I said, me personally, I don't find death funny. Like, it's not funny. It really isn't. But if we look back on his videos, and if we look back on his niche of him saying you're gonna die alone, that shit wasn't funny. Because you gotta be really careful what you put out into the universe, guys. You really do. I always tell you guys that. I always say that on videos. You have to take accountability for yourself. Like, when you point the finger at somebody else, you got 4 fingers pointing back at you. So I don't think it was ever comical for him to constantly say to black women that you're gonna die alone. And so ironically, this is what caused Kevin Samuels' demise. So let's talk about it. So a lot of his fans are saying, well, Kevin Samuels was telling the truth. He was telling the truth. Everything was the truth, and this and that, and he was funny, and he was this and he was that, and you black women gonna die alone, and he was right, and that was the truth. But in actuality, in actuality, you know, life is like a boomerang effect, you guys. Whatever you send out to the universe, it's like you're condemning yourself. So, have you ever heard of a saying like, if you dig a grave for somebody else, you might as well dig that same grave for yourself? Like, that's true, you know. It's like a boomerang effect. So, whatever you put out into the universe, you know, yes, I'm pretty sure it was entertaining at one point for him to constantly say, black women, you're gonna die alone. But when you make that your niche, guys, and when you constantly say that, the subconscious mind, the subconscious mind, you know, we all have one, it's gonna take that information and it's gonna program it, and then it's gonna take that information, and then that's gonna be your reality. So be careful what you wish for others. Be careful what you say, you know. Don't judge others. And we know Kevin Samuel's niche was you will die alone. And what else he used to say? You're average at best, you know. Be careful of what you know, say. Even though you might get like a little buzz or something, you might get famous, you might get a little, you know, airplay and stuff like that, and meet famous people. But by doing it, by discriminating black women or mocking black women or making fun of black women or telling black women they're gonna die alone, that wasn't really funny or entertaining. You know what I'm saying? But he did have numbers, so a lot of people did find it entertaining. So why is everybody being so serious now? You know, we can all learn from this, and we can kind of, you know, we can laugh. We can laugh because that's what I feel Kevin Samuels will want us to do. Laugh like he always, you know, kick shit. You know how Kevin used to say it, you know, danger zone. I remember that, like, y'all, for real, like, danger zone. Him telling black women you're in the danger zone. Now, let's talk about the danger zone, because that's what was Kevin Samuels' niche. You in the danger zone. Kevin was 57 years old. Now, a lot of men is not gonna like what I'm about to say, you know, but I'm sorry, guys, but danger zone, everybody's in a damn danger zone. You know what I'm saying? If you over the age 44, you're in the danger zone if you a guy. Really, you in the danger zone at 38, you know, to be honest. But I know a lot of 20-something-year-old African Americans, and they in the danger zone, and they're males, you know, because we have to look at, we got to take into consideration, you know, our health and our history that runs in our family. A lot of black men suffer from heart failure and heart attacks and high blood pressure, diabetes, overweight. Like, this is not something that women, African American women, face. This is what African American men face. And yes, I know it was probably entertaining for his subscribers to hear, like, oh, you know, he's telling a woman she's not fit. But in actuality, Kevin was not, you know, Kevin was not fit. You know, he wasn't living up to those standards that, you know, he wasn't living up to his niche, you guys. So, it was said that he was popping Viagra and drinking Red Bulls. Like, that was Kevin Samuels' niche. The whole Red Bull thing. That was his niche, y'all. Y'all know. That's what Kevin Samuels loved, drinking his Red Bulls. And, you know, I didn't know he was popping Viagra's. But, you know, at the age of 57, your niche should not be consuming Red Bulls. I'm sorry. You're in the danger zone. He knew he was in the danger zone. And then another thing, guys, sex is not that important. For you to lose your life because you want a buzz, That's like, if you know your heart can't take it, or if you know you have high blood pressure and you have to take your blood pressure medication, having sex, your life shouldn't end because you want to have sex, you know. But a lot of guys, like, they don't realize that they're in a danger zone. And they don't realize if he did pop them Viagra's and drinking Red Bulls, which he is known to do, so I don't think this was something made up. At the age of 57, like, come on, man, you're 60 years old. You're damn near 60 years old. Why are you popping Viagra? That is something unnatural. Like, that is something unnormal. And I just feel like maybe Kevin Samuels will be still here today popping shit, kicking shit, if he just wasn't taking, you know, some pills to perform, to have sex, and he knew his heart, you know, all the things that he was dealing with. He knew he wasn't fit, you know. And it's just like a lesson for us not to condemn others, because we really don't know who's really living that life. Because Kevin definitely wasn't. He wasn't living that life, you know. And just going back to what he used to always say his niche was, won't you just be with an average person? If Kevin Samuel would have just been with an average person that was like 53 years old to 57, like in his age range, maybe none of that would have happened, you know. Maybe his death wouldn't even have occurred, you know. Because I will tell you, as a nurse, that was a cocktail for disaster. Red Bulls and Viagra, that was a cocktail. So, black men, I know he was God Daddy. He was God Daddy to a lot of you all. But take heed to the message. It was all funny when he was planting those seeds of evil. Remember, what you put out will come back to you. What you reap, you will sow. So when you put out negativity into the atmosphere, you will reap what you sow. So don't get it twisted. You know, Kevin Samuels was, you know, at one point to me comical. You know, he was very entertaining until he started saying things that was like, okay, he got off black women. Because the things that he was saying pertaining to black women, I know he was saying like, black men don't like nurses. I am a nurse, but I just never really got off into what Kevin Samuels was saying, you know, to be law, to be true. But like a couple of days, guys, if I could be all the way 100, a couple of days ago, I don't know, I was bored, and I was scrolling or whatever, and I saw a video of Kevin Samuels, and he was telling this one black lady, like, yeah, so this is a scenario that, you know, was going on his YouTube show or whatever. So he was giving this black lady a scenario, and he was saying, like, what if your daughter, and she ain't my daughter, and she came to you and said, Kevin, touch me. Kevin, touch me. And what you gonna do? So the black lady was like, well, I guess I have to go. Yeah. He was like, yeah, but you ain't taking my damn kids. And I'm like, is this man really planting this evil seed into black men's heads? Like, I don't even know where this scenario would have came from. So I felt like at that moment, I really stopped looking at Kevin Samuels' videos. And after I saw that video, the man was dead, y'all. For real. Because I feel like he was like planting these seeds of like evilness. Like, who would come up with a relationship scenario of, if your daughter told you Kevin touched her, what you gonna do? If you leave, you can't leave with my kids that me and you created. And it was just so sickening, y'all. And you gotta give it to him. Everybody was tuned in because his numbers didn't lie. It was millions of people that was like tuning in, and he was planting those damn seeds of evil in, you know, his viewers' heads. Honor thy mother and father. I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but honor thy mother and thy father. I really can't. I'm sorry, y'all, my kids, but I really can't speak that enough. Honor thy mother and father. Like, when it came to Kevin Samuels, I know he really hated his mom because he spoke nothing but ill words about his mother. She was a single black woman. He got teased a lot in school. He had a stepfather at one point. He was the only child. He hated it. And he always told his, you know, his viewers, always have more kids. Always have, don't be like my mother and only have me. So, you know, but I never heard him say anything about his biological father. Like, I never heard Kevin Samuels speak ill will about his father. And then it just dawned on me, like, you really can't speak ill will about a person you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes to show. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to have to stop this video because my kids are in the background. And I'm just going to stop this video right now.